These people that's why I say, like, he has indefensible positions because there's no consistency or logic between. What are you talking about? Oh, that's a more reasonable argument. Dog, he just dog walked you, and now you just trying to save face and look like, oh yeah, we on the same page. No, he just made you look stupid, bro.
What does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter what it means in Latin.
Okay,
Smiling is creepy.
no, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back.
You know what I'm saying? Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know you're in here. We finna have fun tonight.
Yo, back with another one. So today we're gonna watch this video of this. Jubilee has a new segment. You know, you guys know Jubilee. They do all the tough conversations between opposing views of people, and they have a new one called Surrounded. And they have Charlie Kirk versus 20 woke people, or woke college students. Sorry, woke college students in particular. It's funny because Charlie Kirk is honestly pretty stupid, and two, this just exposes these guys keep debating college kids like these are the best and the brightest of the entire world. Yes, they may be a little smart here and there and they learn things, but they don't understand like nuances in a lot of cases and what real life is actually like. They just kind of hear things and it resonates with them emotionally and they run with that. Charlie Kirk will make some of them probably look stupid, and I'm sure that he's going to look stupid as well because he has stupid takes that are indefensible. So I might do the different segments and break them up into different videos because what I saw was this is good entertainment. I don't know if I'm going to just do this one and then break them off into the different topics he picks into separate videos, but we'll see. Let's get into it.
My first prompt is, abortion is murder and should be illegal.
Stupid. See? Stupid takes. This whole rush to the chair shit is actually ridiculous. Whoever reaches the chair first. This is ridiculous. Like they should have did a better way of
Juliana.
doing this.
Nice
This
to meet
is
you.
stupid
Nice to
to
meet
rush
Can we
to
get
the
our
chair.
terms
That
right
looks
first?
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, abortion is the forcible ending of the viability of a being in utero, otherwise known as a fetus. Do we agree that's what abortion is?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then murder is the intentional taking of life, different than killing or sudden death. So murder would be the intent taking another life. Do we agree with that?
Okay.
Okay, and then we agree that murder in general in society should be illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
That's the
yeah, no, I do
implication
want to
of
preface
murder.
that I'm a Catholic. So I think one really important thing that the Bible says is to not judge. And just going back to the topic, I think there's a big difference between, cells in utero than a living, breathing, existing being. And while I do believe it's murder, and that's just my
You just conceded the entire argument, shorty. What do you mean I do believe it's murder?
personal belief, right? I don't believe in telling people what to do with their bodies.
Shorty,
That's
they
not up
put
to
the
me,
flag up
and
because you
it's
just
not up to us
stupid.
as well as Christians
But-
to judge.
That was
Should we
stupid.
prevent murder in society?
Wait, to Christians to judge? You're saying that it's okay to murder? That's dumb. You can't. Why are you trying to argue with him? I believe it's murder, but we can't judge other people that are murdering. What? You can't say it's murder and say it's okay.
For sure, yeah.
And it should be illegal.
But I think that it's really different, right? Because
No,
you
it's
know,
not.
these
Because you
people
just
aren't-
said murder is okay.
Sorry,
was
nice to meet you.
stupid. That was so stupid. That was so stupid. How do they know? Shit. This is
Okay,
stupid.
what's your
That
name?
is
Naima.
ridiculous.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, can I just
That's
ask?
absolutely
at
ridiculous.
how many weeks do you think that a fetus is viable?
Well, viability and moral worth are two different things.
No, but I'm asking you, at how many
Yes.
weeks do
Well,
you think
at
a
about
fetus
20
is viable?
weeks, a baby can survive outside of utero.
So it's actually 24 to 26
Well, it's
weeks?
20. The youngest ever in a NICU unit actually happened in San Diego, not far from here, and survived at 20 weeks.
Okay, so under Roe v. Wade, 93% of abortions happened in the first 13 weeks of pregnancy. That's 93% of the abortions happened well before a fetus is technically viable
For
as
sure.
a form
so
of life.
let's go into viability. So what is it about, let's say, a 6-week baby that has a heartbeat, its own DNA, fingerprint, brain waves, that is less moral
There's no consciousness. there's no consciousness. And I hope somebody has this argument because the viability argument is stupid. The body autonomy argument is stupid. Like, these arguments don't fall flat. The consciousness argument is the best argument for pro-choice people.
Worth than an 88-year-old right now with dementia in a home down the street. That person requires assistance, requires help. Why is it that the 6-week baby is of less moral worth?
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
Who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter what it means in Latin. He just trying to act like because he has more facts of knowing things that it makes his argument correct. That's not how it works. Who cares what it means in Latin? The fetus, yes, it's and then that's the thing. A lot of these people, these kids want to avoid saying it's a baby because of the emotional effect. It don't matter. Call it what you want. It's not here. It can't live on its own, and it has no consciousness, which is what we care about when people are living and dead. We care about consciousness. If there's no understanding of you being a person, then there's no person to speak of.
What the f? I'm sorry. Is this
It means little human being.
Ooh, his smile is very creepy. Okay.
It was. Fam, it was.
Means little human being.
Who would want to wake up to that? Bro, why his smile look like that? He look like somebody off Toy Story or something.
Ooh, his smile is very creepy. Okay.
Smiling is creepy?
No,
Smiling
your
is creepy.
smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back.
No, your smile. Bro, I'm sorry. I don't even judge. I don't be trying to judge people's looks and shit like that for real. But sometimes you can't avoid it. That smile was weird. It was truly disturbing. That was truly disturbing, and I don't know why.
We're losing track here.
No, but what species is the fetus?
The fetus is
It's a
not a
human.
species yet. It's technically
See, they don't want to. It's nothing. Just say it's a human species. That's okay. That's okay. You can say that. They just want to avoid it because they're scared of sounding like you're addressing a person that's here. When that's the whole argument of abortion is, when is it actually a person? That's what it's about.
classified as a parasite
No.
until it is
wow.
viable.
So,
now, I want to talk
hold
to you
on.
about something very quickly.
I can't let you get past that. Are
I'm
you
sorry.
saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease or a tumor. Why did you just force that?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
They're
parasite
mysterious.
is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's
Therefore,
extrapolate that.
It is not
That's not a
a
good
living
argument.
organism.
Still. It's alive because you're killing it. Like, don't say it's not a living organism, and it's not about it surviving outside of the mom. Like, these arguments don't make sense. They don't hold up. They don't hold up.
Old people with Alzheimer's and dementia that are being assisted every day, are they parasites?
That's not the same. And he's so stupid, he doesn't even know how to break down the argument she presented. You can't compare people that need assistance to a fetus in a womb before viability. It's not the same thing.
No, they're not parasites. They're human beings who are on the brink of death.
Got it. So
They're not going to be able to survive.
4-month-old that requires mom's breast milk and requires daily
can live
changes and
without
feedings
a
cannot
host
survive without its own.
being
Is my
attached to
4-month-old a
something
parasite?
else.
Your baby can breathe on its own. Your baby can drink water from its mouth
Right.
to its stomach.
A
But it
parasite
cannot-
Your
can't
baby
do
can
can it
anything
hunt?
without
Can it
the
gather?
host
Can it
surviving.
reason?
But that's not what qualifies
Can it
something.
gather? Can it reason? This is what I'm talking about. Like, neither one of them are making good arguments. This is stupid.
Being a
Okay, so
living
let's-
organism.
then
Being
let's
a
get
living
back to
organism
terms.
simply means, can you survive outside of a womb, outside of your host?
Got it. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. Why does that then equate to moral viability?
It equates to scientific viability.
See, and that's the point. It's funny because he's making the argument about this is about the moral. This is the moral. What do you care about morally as far as this life? That's what it's about. But he's not even. His arguments don't override the morality argument. It sounds like he's just saying if the baby's viable, it should be born. And she's arguing about this viability shit. And that's not what it's about. And she doesn't even want to concede it's a human or none of that.
Under what standard?
Because it is not alive, and you are
It is
advocating for
alive.
the rights
It
of
is
something that is
alive.
not technically a life,
Got it. So what is something
while
that has
sacrificing the needs of the human woman who is alive.
Got it. So, but a mom can survive
Yes.
without the baby in her,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
The baby
Yes.
cannot survive without the mom.
Yes.
But a mom cannot survive without her lungs. So it's
What the
not her
fuck?
body, it's in her body.
A mom can't survive without her lungs. They're still her lungs. What are you talking about?
It's not
Yeah,
her
I
DNA, so
know.
it's not her choice. So it's a
It actually
It
is
her
directly
DNA.
her DNA.
Why would
It's-
he fucking,
It is
it's
100%.
fucking
It's
stupid.
50% of her DNA.
half her DNA.
It's half her DNA, you idiot.
He's gonna win, I'm telling you. This could take a while.
Okay, first of all,
This
Do
is
we have our
stupid.
terms correct? We agree?
This is
actually no.
the
So
setup.
first of
Okay,
all,
got it.
I'd like to refine our terms. I
Got
have
it.
2 points to bring up after that, though. So you define murder as like intentionally like killing a human being.
Mhm.
I think that's a very poor way to define murder because if someone were to like break into my home and point a gun at the heads of me and everybody I
He
love,
did say
and I
different from
intentionally
killing.
kill them to prevent them from
said
from killing my
different from
family,
killing.
I don't think I murdered them, right? So I would define murder as the unjustified termination of a human life.
You're making a good point. Let me further clarify that. So self-defense is
Right.
very warranted.
Exactly, right?
But I can see where you're going to go with how that has to go with abortion, but we can go down that journey in a second.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I kind of do want to give you my argument insofar as why I'm pro-choice, why I think it's justified. But first, I think that, you know, your position is quite absurd, right? Because you're saying that it is murder to kill a human being, right, at any point in development, especially when it's in the mother's womb. My question to you would be, well, does this make women with IUDs murderers? Because it is the case that in some scenarios, an IUD will allow for conception to occur, meaning there's a unique human life there, but it will prevent its implantation, intentionally killing it.
Well, no, preventing implantation is not necessarily the same thing as terminating a fertilized egg. For example, if you take Plan B, again, it's not the same thing. Preventing the production of progesterone is not the
Yes, it is.
same thing as terminating a fully a
He
fertile.
is flailing. He's flailing because that is the same thing.
You do not know for a fact that the egg has been fertilized. You do not know that.
It's not about whether you know for a fact. It's the fact that it can happen. It doesn't matter if you know for a fact or not, but that's how it works.
An IUD.
Okay, yeah,
Do you?
so preventing fertilization or implantation to the uterine lining is killing a conceived
killing,
zygote. So
right.
what happens? A sperm goes into the egg, right? The egg becomes fertilized. It's a conceived zygote. In some cases, it will prevent the
It will prevent
implantation
the
of the conceived
implantation.
zygote, killing
But
the
it's
conceived
already
zygote.
been fertilized.
Correct.
So what do you say in some cases women
no,
with
not
IUDs are
women.
murderers?
Yes, you have to say it. Yes.
It's not they're not murders. We do not know for a case. That's like saying that.
It's not about whether you know or not. It's the fact that that's what can happen. And if you don't want any babies killed, you have to be against IUDs and say that's murder.
What's the difference between an IUD killing a conceived zygote
Because-
and like a mother going to Planned Parenthood and killing the fetus in her womb?
Well, so you
What's
asked
the
me- you're
difference?
asking
No.
two separate things.
Say
If
the
they
difference.
knew for certain, to be more clear, that I have a fertilized egg and I'm going to take a drug.
It shouldn't matter.
To prevent that
It should not
fertilized egg
matter.
from attaching.
You can't have it both ways. It doesn't matter if you know or not. You know that that's a possibility because of the way the IUD works. So you can't just say if we know for a fact. Okay, so say they somehow knew for a fact. You got to
Your
concede.
uterine wall, then yes, that is an act of killing or murder, of course.
Okay, so
But-
do you
but
think
you
all
do-
murderers should go to jail?
Do I think all murderers should go to jail? I mean, on third degree murder. However, no, I don't think women that got abortions or had IUDs should go to jail because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda. Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists, who are the ones that have been mass propaganda or had IUDs should go to jail because I think that they have been deceived by mass culture and mass propaganda.
Wait, so now when you've been deceived, you're not responsible? These people that's why I say like he has indefensible positions because there's no consistency or logic between it. You can in what world is it that people that have been manipulated by like you're in a gang and you go commit a murder because somebody asked you to do it and you've been manipulated by them the whole time. You're not responsible anymore. You may get some leniency, maybe, but you're not responsible just because you've been deceived. Women know what an abortion is and they don't enjoy it. Women don't enjoy getting that shit. It's not that it's people don't care about it because they don't think it's a life or anything. It's just the whole argument is about when is it actually a life.
Secondly, the people who should go to jail are the abortionists,
Worth considering.
who are the ones that have been putting the abortion pill, the ones that have been doing procedures, the ones that have been going into the third trimester and breaking.
The mother that's going is just as responsible under your worldview. You can't have it both ways. You just don't want the women to look at you like you crazy.
Babies' backs and inserting them with syringes while the babies are crying and suffocating, being born alive, and then being dead on the operating table. Okay. That is who should go to jail.
Being born alive and stop.
Oh.
Most abortions are not done in that fashion.
We'll have to talk about it.
Most abortions are not done in that fashion. They needed a different structure.
Okay, whenever
for that,
I'm
bro.
talking about this discussion, I always go to the question of what about in the case of the mother when her life is in danger? Because I'm a big believer.
doesn't
I
matter.
don't know. I'm still iffy on if I think it's or if it's murder or not. But
why are you there
even
then?
so,
Exactly.
I
Don't
don't
give her a
wanna say murder's justified.
chance.
Guys, wait,
you
let me-
can't get up here trying to defend what he's saying, trying to argue what he's saying. Is like, I don't really know if it's murder or not. That's the whole point. Don't get up there if you are on the fence about it.
It's one point,
That's
and then you can vote me out. Give me 1 second.
What's your point?
Say the mother gets pregnant and she knows that if she gives birth, she's going to die. She has some kind of health complication. Then what do you do in that
Cesarean
case?
section.
I don't know what that means.
It's a C-section.
Why don't you know what a C-section is? And why the fuck does he think that getting a C-section fixes a problem? Why the fuck does he think getting it? It's not about the vaginal birth that is the issue usually for women that are going to lose their life, you fucking idiot. If that was the case, they would just do them all the time instead of the abortion. The issues isn't about C-sections, which are honestly more risky than vaginal births if you don't need it. No doctor ever will give you a C-section if it's not a better option than the vaginal birth. You're not getting that shit just for the hell of it.
Guys, wait, hold on. Just give me 1 second.
They go right below the belly button and they deliver the baby, and after she doesn't have to give birth. It's technically birth, but it's much safer. So that's actually.
It's not much safer, you dickhead. What? This is what, like, why is he saying that? If it was safer, wouldn't that be the go-to? It's not safer. It's safer if the vaginal birth is a problem. That's when it's safer. It's not safer blanket, full stop.
Safer than an abortion procedure.
It is not safer than an abortion procedure depending on the time of the point of the abortion. I hate him. This is like...
Sorry, Lily.
That was
how are you?
nice.
Hi.
That was
What's your name?
nice.
Deedon.
Nice to
Nice to meet you.
was
I would
nice.
say with abortion, I
Deedon.
think it's very complicated, but I think the issue that I have primarily with your stance of being pro-life, that there's no nuance. There's women who are being forced to travel hundreds of miles to access abortion care, even in cases of rape in certain states that they're not giving any sort of allowance for that.
Y'all
And I
ain't
think,
give him no chance to talk
you know,
for real.
a
bro.
lot of people who are pro-life, they say that they're pro-life, but I feel like they're really pro-birth because with firearms, the United States has some of the highest firearm deaths.
Bro, shut the hell up. What are
Out
you
of
talking
OECD
about?
nations, right? And we can acknowledge that that's for children who are actually living and breathing. So I feel like
That's so
abortion,
off
while
topic,
it is,
bro.
I can definitely see your point. I just think that it should be allowed in some circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm happy to get into the gun violence stuff later, but I want to really stay focused on abortion.
Right.
You can say you see my point. Can you see the world also where, since we know it's a human life, that it should be illegal since we don't allow murder in our society?
Well, that's where I have an issue
argument
because
is a human
abortion is
life.
not being done willy-nilly. It's like the life of the mother is always.
How many abortions do you think we have every day in America? Just guess.
I'm not sure.
That doesn't mean
I'm
it's
not sure.
willy-nilly.
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe, I don't know, 1,000.
4,000.
That doesn't mean
It is kind of
willy-nilly.
willy-nilly. We have 1.6.
It's not willy-nilly. Just because it's a lot doesn't mean it's willy-nilly, sir.
Hello.
I just want to clarify, the thing that you're aiming for is less abortion, right? That would be what you would want, or at least no abortion.
Eventually, it's also a protection of those that can't protect themselves. But yes, and that's why after the reversal of Roe versus Wade, we saw abortions go down dramatically in Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. We saw thousands of babies that are now alive and well that are able to have
Alive and you'll never see the babies that get aborted. Of course, there's babies alive and well. What the fuck are you talking about?
amazing lives thanks to the reversal of Roe versus Wade.
I don't think a lot
What?
of that is true.
Well,
Right.
it is, but
It's not true because when you make abortion illegal, it doesn't actually decrease the
so
amount of
that's a
abortions
nice
that happen.
talking point. In Texas, the numbers show differently. The birth rate has gone up.
Yeah, legal goes down, but illegal abortions still happen. Abortions
Exactly.
still
Why
happen.
is he saying that as if just because abortions have gone down, obviously because it's illegal, it would, but that doesn't mean women aren't getting them elsewhere.
Been outside of
So
whatever data
th-
you're
that's
showing.
not true.
Exactly.
But let's just say so. Well, if you
40?
if you want to, well, first of all, if you count the abortion pill, you're right, but that's a separate thing than a chemical abortion and surgical abortion are different things. And I'm not debating.
Why is the pill excluded? That's an abortion. I'd argue that's probably a lot of them. It's not excluded. They're just getting them sooner, which is better. You should be okay with that. If a woman could get a freaking 5-week abortion,
I'm not debating you. I'm debating her. So if you want to do the flags
they
and come
shouldn't
back
do
in,
that.
try and be faster next time. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering,
Wait.
limit unjust suffering of human beings. So let me ask you this. So the question is, we should try to limit unjust suffering of human beings, right?
that's begging the question. The question is it well, yes, we know it's a human, but it's the point of, is it actually of value, of moral value? That's what the argument is about. And I don't get why nobody's addressing that. It's like they're already accepting the premise that you're killing a human, and that's what the whole argument is about. Is if you don't, because we're not killing a human. Worth moral consideration, I should say. That's what you're really arguing about.
Sure.
Okay, that's my position, is that there's unjust suffering of anywhere between 1.4 to 1.6 million abortions a year
Unjust suffering.
of human beings.
And then where's
that are
the
being
suffering? Who's suffering?
massacred in the womb. And so that's not a woman's rights issue, that's not a
Massacred in
men's
the
rights
womb.
issue.
And I just love how he just said, fuck all the pill abortions, as if it's not an abortion.
It's a human rights issue.
Okay, the best way to decrease abortions happening is proper sex education. Limiting abortion and making abortion illegal does not actually decrease the amount of abortions that
So
happen.
what is your evidence of that?
What is my evidence of that?
Because we have increased sex education the last 30 years.
No, our sex education is so bad in America.
Well, by bad, what do you mean by that? We have more access to birth control for young kids. We have more kids that are learning to use birth
That's
control
not
at a younger age.
education.
We have more of that in our public school system, and we've
That's not
seen
education.
all the trends actually go in a negative direction. So, in fact, we see that the more sex education there
She's
is,
doing okay.
the more disturbing those trends are. So you say that. Let me ask just one more thing. You say that
She's doing
if we make
okay.
abortion illegal, people will still do it. Should we then just make gang violence legal because?
No, I'm
people
saying
still
if you
do it?
actually wanted to decrease the amount of abortions that happen, you wouldn't be advocating for to make abortion illegal. You'd be
right.
advocating for
Does
all of these
that
other
logic
things.
apply to stealing, looting, kidnapping,
She didn't
arson,
say.
and murder?
No.
Well, actually, it does because those are results of different
Okay,
societal
so-
issues
so-
that you should be
got it.
educating
So we
yourself
should
on
make-
rather than
Yep.
making it
So we
illegal
should
at
make
the front.
can we
Yeah.
make kidnapping, arson, burglary, murder legal because they're symptoms of something else?
We should be
No, you
helping
should. She's
society.
right. He's literally actively missing her point. It's not about just making those things legal or illegal. Obviously, it's going to get worse. The issue is her logic still follows because the conversation is, if you want to decrease it happening, what you should be advocating for is the information and education on these things. If more people were informed of what their life would be like if they joined a gang and whatnot, then they'll be less likely to do so. If women and men are more informed on abortions and what that could do to women's body or your mental health, they will be less likely to engage in that behavior. It makes sense even if you want to talk about crime. It still makes sense. The more education that you have on it, the hopefully it will go down. That logic still follows. And I believe I've seen that better sex education does decrease like younger teen pregnancies and stuff like that, and probably abortions too.
Heal from
You
those
got to
things.
answer the question. We want less of those things. Should we just make them legal and we'll get less looting?
He's ignoring what she's saying.
You know, actually, I'm gonna let someone else.
Thank you very much.
And I wish she could articulate it because she was right. She just couldn't articulate her point.
Hi, Parker. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Charlie.
Big TikTok guy here.
So, pedophiles, people who were married to children in the past and normalized in that society, should they go to prison?
Should pedophiles
Like,
go
if
to
you could go
prison?
back in time, would you put those pedophiles in prison that married those children because it was normalized? They were deceived into thinking it's okay. Would you put them in prison?
You got to slow down.
Where is he
Sorry.
going?
Pedophiles should get the death penalty.
No, so you'd go back in the past, you give them the death penalty, even though they were deceived into thinking it was okay. But you said people who
Deceived.
get abortions who are women shouldn't
Hold
go
on
to
a second,
prison.
but it's not currently
Oh.
illegal.
Okay,
What?
But
regardless.
pedophilia
At that
is
time,
current-
at that time, it wasn't.
No, I would not go back and retroactively enforce laws where things were currently not illegal.
You wouldn't put pedophiles in prison in the
Well,
past.
Hold on a second. When was it illegal? When was it legal in America?
Well, child marriage was legal in America throughout the early 1900s and especially throughout most of society for thousands of years, especially in the Old Testament and in the Bible.
Well, hold
right?
on. Well, hold on
Ooh.
a second. So
That's Charlie's wheelhouse.
where is the Levitical law that allows you to marry a child?
Oh God. It don't matter, bro. You scared. You scared.
Oh yeah.
Can you name the verse?
Well,
That's what people do when they don't know where to go in a conversation where like you having a debate, like trying to get all these particulars about stuff and he don't know what to say because he got caught.
I can't name the verse, but the particular conditions that are listed in the Bible are that you have to be physical maturity and emotional maturity, which is extremely vague and throughout society has been seen to be met at puberty.
There is not a verse, but let's kind of go.
Okay,
back.
so when is
let's
the
go back
age of
to
consent
abortion.
under your view?
Let's go back to generally agreed upon it's 18 years old. But let me ask
Say
you.
your
But
view.
because
But
you
yeah,
don't go based on what's generally agreed, you go based on the Bible.
I say 18 years old, but let me ask you a question.
Where's that in the Bible?
When does life begin?
Conception.
Like conception, great. So good. So should we protect all life at conception?
I care about sentient life, not
Sentient.
cellular
So
life.
Thank
Undo
you.
brain-
Sentience. That's you. It's consciousness. Sentience. Thank you.
Wave start.
Do you think
That's
brain dead
that's what we care about.
people should be able to pull the plug on, like, I care about sentient life, not
Sentient.
cellular
So
life.
when do brainwaves start?
Do you think brain dead people should be able to pull the plug on, like a family should be able to pull the plug on an individual
Hold on,
in the
you
family
gotta
that's
answer.
brain
You gotta
dead?
answer the question. When
Still haven't answered mine.
When do brainwaves start?
You can see brain waves around 6 to 8 weeks, which in
I
brain
agree,
dead
yeah.
individual, there are brain waves as well. So the
Got
brain
it.
waves necessary to
Brain waves isn't an indicator of consciousness. Just because your brain's doing things, that doesn't mean you're conscious.
produce a
What-
subjective experience
so
are
don't-
met until
can-
around
can you
18
see it
through
from
26
my
weeks in the
Can you
womb.
see it from my perspective that at 6 to 8 weeks, those brain waves will actually increase, not decrease, if allowed the process of development to continue?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. We all know that if you leave the baby there to develop, it's gonna gain consciousness and sentience. Why is he saying that as if that changes anything? Nobody's arguing to have an abortion all throughout any part of the pregnancy. People mostly want abortions done as early as possible.
Did you know those same EEG scans exist in brain dead people that you don't think are
no,
sentient?
but the difference with the brain dead people is that the likelihood of those brain waves actually increasing is very low at 6 to 8 weeks, when by 15 weeks they can hear the
It's
mom's
impossible.
voice.
It's
Doesn't
irreversible
matter.
sensation. That's what brain
Well,
death is. I
hold on,
apparently didn't know that.
But no,
it's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to
No, it's not. What's a red herring?
Not a red herring.
I
Hold on,
apparently didn't know that.
But no,
it's not coma.
But you're doing a red herring. Go back to
No, it's
6.
not. What's a red herring?
6 to a red herring is where you avoid
Why is he
the
getting into
topic
that? That doesn't
and you
matter.
say something that is adjacent or symmetrical to what I'm saying, but not actually what I'm saying.
You mean a
So
reductio ad absurdum? That's not a red herring.
A 6 to 8 week baby, if they're allowed to continue to develop, what ends up happening?
At a certain point, it will become a sentient being in the
Got
future.
it.
The
So
same way
that-
that if I keep engaging in sex with my girlfriend, there'll be a baby in the future. Yet I don't care about the
unless
sperm.
you're infertile, which we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm
so
not.
let's see the process of development, right? Why
Do you wanna answer my question yet?
Why do you have the ability or the right?
Should those child P3Os go to prison?
The process of
Should the
development
pedophiles go to prison?
from 1904. How many pedophiles
From
are alive
behind.
from 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past,
Okay, that's just-
hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in
Well,
prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive. Back
Okay,
then.
so
But,
then you don't apply.
That was such a non sequitur. I would have killed him myself. He said, "Would you put him in prison?" Answer the fucking question. And he can't because it's inconsistent with what he said about putting women in jail for murder. Cause they didn't know. But now he's saying that he wouldn't put pedophiles in prison. I mean, he don't want to. He basically can't answer it because it's dishonest. He can't say no because he looks bad, but if he says yes, then he has to say the women have to go to prison too for murder.
Or how many pedophiles
From
are alive
behind.
from 1904?
They're not alive, right? I meant like if you can go back in the past,
Okay, that's just-
hypothetically speaking, and you could put them in prison. Would you put them in
Well,
prison?
I would have killed them myself if I was alive. Back
Okay,
then.
so
But,
then you don't apply
but-
it based upon what people are deceived to believe.
but
You apply it
yes,
based
I
upon
do.
what you consider to be
That-
moral.
it's a
So the
separate
women who had
issue.
abortions, you think they should go to prison.
No,
so why should
no,
women
I-
who get abortions go
I've
to prison,
never- I've
but
never
someone
said
like
that.
my mom who
This
told
is
me that
not-
Santa Claus
this
exists
is
shouldn't go to
not
prison
going to
because
be
they're
a
both sins?
constructive debate if you keep on talking over me.
Well, I
right?
was finishing my statement. You were talking over me.
But
But go for it.
let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it would be a good thing
Don't get
if
him
we
out
had
of
less
there.
abortions in America?
It depends on the context. Like,
depends.
are the
Right.
abortions prior to sentience?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because I
all
think
abortions.
no, it would
Yeah.
not be necessarily
Are you
better
against
unless it is
late-term
the case that the
abortion?
people didn't want the abortions and it would be negatively impactful to their health medically speaking.
Are you against
'Cause I think
late-term
women
abortion?
After sentience? Yes.
Okay, so you believe in an 8-week abortion ban?
Yeah. No, I don't. Sorry, I believe in an abortion ban after 18 through 26 weeks.
Okay, that's
Sorry,
a
my
more
bad.
reasonable position. I have to give you.
What do you mean that's a more reasonable position? Nobody's arguing for late-term abortions. Nobody cares. No, not that nobody cares. Nobody's sitting here saying like, yeah, we need to have 30-week abortions. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Oh, that's a more reasonable argument. Dog, he just dog walked you, and now you just trying to save face and look like, oh yeah, we on the same page. No, he just made you look stupid, bro. Cause ain't nobody up here arguing for some fucking 5-7 month abortions. Nobody's talking about that. And you just shitted on yourself because, oh, that's more reasonable. Yeah, 8 weeks. Oh, that's cool. You the one that's arguing the brain waves is from 6 to 8 weeks and shit.
Give you credit for that.
It's similar to Trump's 15
Yeah,
weeks.
Yeah. So why do you think that most people don't share your view on that?
Yes, they do.
Well, people just don't really know what sentience is. There's not a lot of conversation about abortion, and these conversations are very difficult. Like they're conceptually hard to go through, and I understand why a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, for sure.
Why y'all trying to get him out of there?
You are where most
You're cutting me off.
Americans
I thought we weren't cutting people off.
I was actually complimenting you. How are you? Nice to see
Nobody
you.
else.
So I just have one question. There's like in any case, you don't think there's any case where abortion should be legal?
There's a very, very rare couple cases.
Okay, so you do
where-
think
hold
that
on
a
one
couple
second.
cases
Hold
it
on.
is legal.
Damn, let him talk.
If cesarean section
Let him
is
talk.
not going to save the mother's life, and
I don't know why he keeps saying that. Like, that's not the deciding factor of births that are risking the mother.
mother's life is actually at risk, which is debated amongst.
Because obviously, if that was the case, if a mother wanted the baby and it was a risk to her health and all it would be is a C-section, then abortions don't even need to be discussed. Nobody, excuse me, she's not gonna be like, no, just abort it even though she wanted it, but a C-section is an option. That doesn't even make sense. We're not talking, stop saying that. This is a stupid ass point.
Growing numbers of OBGYNs.
Okay.
That is the only case where abortion should be
Do you
allowed.
think there should-
But people say that it is a growing consensus in the pro-life world that abortion is never medically necessary.
Okay. So if
What?
you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped, and she was
Well,
going to
I-
give birth
I
and
do
she
have
would
a
no
daughter.
wait. Oh, and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her
Well, that's
rapist
awfully
baby?
that's awfully graphic. To answer
It's
the-
no, but
You was just graphic about explaining what the abortion process looked like. Stop.
it's a real life
Okay,
scenario
well,
that happens
calm
to
down.
many
The
people.
answer is yes. The baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold
She
on.
didn't expect him to bite that bullet, but he had no choice but to bite that bullet.
Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in rape. One is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
Your daughter was
which
probably
person here was
hopefully
which person
conceived
here,
by a
which
somewhat
person here
loving
was
couple.
conceived by rape? Tell me which one was conceived by rape.
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and
But
it's all
that
human
doesn't
beings.
matter.
So
It's about your
do-
daughter who has to give
no.
birth to it and is going to be tortured by that.
She looks unhinged because she's not. He's right. If he's gonna say that the baby got to be born, the baby got to be born. You can think it's abhorrent, but that's his argument.
Hold on
the
a second.
rest of her
You-
life.
you are
That's
not-
going to take away every
Hold on a
freedom
second.
she's ever going to have.
Well, hold on.
That's going to
Every
ruin
freedom.
her life. She's going to
You know what?
grow up and she's going to be
Abortion is not a
attached to another
victimless
thing.
crime. The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant to what human rights you get.
But-
Hold on one second.
That's
If a-
true. That is true. You can't base it up. Like, if your belief is that the baby should be born, your belief is the baby should be born. Like, it ain't about how it happened. And if that's how they feel, you feel differently, but you're not getting to the heart of the argument.
person conceived in walks down the side of the street, it's not like
Because
they
he's
don't get First
consistent
Amendment
on that. So you need to move on and try to get him on something else.
or Second Amendment rights.
It's
or
not
Fourth
about
Amendment
that
rights.
person.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
Yes, argue the fact that it's not conscious of it. That's the argument.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to.
Well, that's because you believe it's evil. Most people don't. We don't agree that it's evil begetting evil. Like,
we're gonna pander to the evil. No, what makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being in the cells.
No,
it's not about. No. I'm speaking. No, 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 I'm speaking.
Wait, to say we're both clumps of cells is ridiculous because obviously there's a different types of clumps of cells. Let's not act like all clumps of cells are the same, Charlie. But and him trying to cut her off to say that is actually stupid. Just like you don't have to. This is a stupid point to make.
Speaking.
Want to say one more time?
No, I'm speaking.
Got it.
Thank you. So
You want to say it one
I'm
more
not
time?
talking about
She
that. I'm
said
talking
it.
about
I
the
know you
person.
don't care about them.
No.
Stop
I'm
cutting her
talking
off.
about the person who is dealing with the pregnancy. I am not talking about the cells. I don't
the
care.
cells.
No, listen. The fetus, the whatever. I don't care about that right now until it is formed. If there is a 5-year-old child who is pregnant and the baby is 2 weeks in utero,
can't get pregnant.
actually they have given birth. There is
5-year-olds have given pregnant.
There is one.
Lena Medina of Peru gave birth via C-section at 5 years old. The father's identity is unknown. The pregnancy was possible because she was sexually developed, which some call precocious puberty. Damn, it happened. That's fucked up, bro. I've heard of precocious puberty, but 5 is wild. 5 is wild. Woo! That's tough.
Correct.
There is one recorded case of a 5-year-old girl who gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes,
It's not about common.
A 5-year-old
stand
girl who
corrected.
gave birth.
Is that common?
Yes, it's common. 5-year-olds get sometimes, and if they get pregnant, I think they should be able to have medical access to something that.
But that is something he has to address because that's why abortion is a thing. Like there's situations like that where there's absolutely no reason that a 5-year-old should have to have a baby. So it's kind of like, are you encouraging that? Is that where you feel about it? You know?
That could save not only just their life, but like their livelihood.
How many, I'm curious.
I hope your daughter lives a very happy life and gets away from you.
Okay, so that is really nasty. And so her belief system, just so we're clear, is that.
The time's up.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's fine. I mean, it's insanely nasty, and we'll talk again. My next claim is.
I don't know how nasty it is. She didn't say like, I hope your daughter never gets raped. She just said gets away from you. Because if you're gonna say that, saying that I hope your daughter gets away from you because you would make her carry a rapist baby isn't that out of line. That's why I said people like Charlie Kirk, like he has indefensible takes in my opinion. Like he's not even good at arguing for pro-life people. I don't even think he represents pro-life people well. I think there's some people that do have better arguments than Charlie. But that was good entertainment. Let me know how y'all feel about it. If I should cover the other topics that Charlie did. There's some good topics in there. I might do another one anyway. But yeah, so it don't matter. If you made it to this point in the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.